We're doing some hardcore fishing this trip as we are heading over to Rivers Inlet from Port Hardy to camp on our boat for 5 days. Rivers Inlet is an iconic, legendary place to fish. It is highly regarded in West Coast fishing lore. The strain of fish that return to Rivers Inlet up into the Kilbella and Wannock rivers are the largest genetic strain of Chinook salmon in the world. Having the opportunity to potentially fight one of these monster fish has been something I've dreamed about for a long time. We towed the boat from Parksville to Port Hardy and fished in Hardy for a couple days. Now it's time to load up all of our gear and make final preparations before we make the crossing to Rivers Inlet. All right, we're about to start our big adventure here. Gonna leave from Port Hardy, zip across to Rivers Inlet, go fish over there for a couple days. First time we've really done a trip like this, camping on the boat. We're staying at Dawson's Landing. You know, we're looking for big fish. You never know how that's gonna go. Sometimes they cooperate, sometimes they don't, but I know we're gonna have an awesome time and it should be an adventure. You know, if you're camping on your boat, the big thing is, well, you need food. What I did this trip is pre-marinated, got a lot of stuff prepared already, like steaks, chickens. When we get there, you're not messing around doing that stuff, spending time. We just get the grill out, put it on the grill and cook. So a little prep beforehand, I think will go a long ways and save a little time and stress over there. But, you know, just checklists, right? Like obviously your gear, your rods, your reels, you want to have backups. Make sure all your electronics are in good order. Make sure your engines are in good order. Your downriggers are in good order. You know, make sure you use your gear before you go on a trip like this, so you know, you get familiar with it. You know exactly how to run your boat. You don't want to go somewhere and not be comfortable or familiar on how to use something. So the more you use it, like anything, the more experience you get. And just enjoy it. Like like I said, this is going to be different for us. Kind of essentially camping on the boat, if you will, although we are tied up at Dawson's. But it'll be fun. It'll be an adventure, like I said. The ride over was a boater's dream. The water was flat, calm, and the scenery was absolutely spectacular. We timed it perfectly. Going on a run of over 2 hours makes me feel grateful and fortunate to be running the combo of our Kingfisher boat and Mercury engines. The Kingfisher hull is streamlined and comfortable, and the Mercury engines are so smooth and quiet, yet very powerful and fuel efficient. We were cruising at 30 miles per hour and only burning approximately 8 gallons per hour per engine for a total of 16 gallons per hour, which is phenomenal. We got into Rivers with enough light left to get a line in. We figured we would work this one point where we saw some boats fishing to see if we could make something happen. Okay, so we got our gear in here. And, you know, because it's my first time fishing here, I've never fished in this area. I'm just trying to learn the spot. So, you know, fishing downriggers and, yeah, I'm fishing real shallow right now, like 27, 37. Just, I'm going to do a pass in here to get a feel, you know, kind of the contour of the bottom here to see exactly how deep it is so there's no surprises as far as a rock or something. So make my first pass pretty shallow, get an idea of, you know, how deep I can go and adjust my riggers after that. And the key is, again, great electronics here, like this Simrad system. And I'm just watching here, right? We're at 88 feet right now. On the AIS, we're picking up a lot of other boats that are fishing in here. I'm just gonna be eyeballing this. I'm gonna be looking for bait. So we'll fish a couple hours tonight and see if we can find one, see if we can pick one up. It's a spring, buddy. Oh, Jesus, fish on. Okay, Mike, you're gonna have to clear that rod when you get a second. Oh, there's a fish. He's coming at us. I lost him. I lost him on the run. Son of a... Oh, how? Oh, that makes me sick to my stomach. It was a good spring, too. We managed to hook a fish, but lost it. Now it's time to call it a night and make our way to Dawson's Landing, where we'll be sleeping on the boat. Early first morning, and we're heading out to a big fish spot. This really isn't a secret, and we anticipate a lot of boat traffic, but nonetheless, we are super excited. The regs here are traditional cut plug weighted rod fishing only. All of the boats move together in the tack, hoping to be the lucky one and win the lottery with a big fish bite. All right, we're fishing here. Rivers Inlet, got our lines in, we're mooching, I guess big fish dreams, man. I mean, this is where we're at. This is where the largest genetic strain of salmon on the West Coast live. You know, most places you fish, I mean, there's a system that's pretty well known by the guys that fish there, and I mean, they call it the tack. And we might have some action beside us there. Right behind us, possibly. Oh, he's on. Right behind us. Right behind us, boys. He is on. So. Oh, I was like, nice. Oh, that would have been exciting. Right behind us. Ah. Well, there we go. Dogfish, boys. That would have been too exciting. We've only been here for 5 minutes and the guy's rod went off behind us. But just talking about getting back to just fishing the tack here. So, I mean, for the most part, guys are cordial everywhere you go, but there's a system, right? You can't just come in and cut in line. You got to work your way into the line. And typically anywhere you go, the unwritten rule is, you know, is your right rod to the rocks. So, you know, if you're on the outside, you take the outside tack. When you make your turn inside to the rocks, then you have the right of way to the inside. And that's pretty much standard everywhere you go on the coast here. After fishing there for about 12 hours, we had no luck at the big fish spot, but it was an experience I always wanted to try. We decided to pull our gear and head to a new location where we could switch to downriggers and try to entice a bite. Fish on. Coho. Double. Ah! We got a little action, a little double header. Oh, there we go. I think we got a couple coho here. Let's try and slow down and sort this out here. Got Mike helping. Oh, geez. Little jump there. Oh, he's gone. That one's gone. We just had a double header, a couple coho. Lost one. Got this guy here coming to the surface. Been a bit of a grind so far, but hey, that's the way it goes when you're looking for big fish. Sometimes you just got to put in the time. But beautiful day though. You see that nice coho right there? Beautiful fish. Let's pop this off and let this guy go. I think he's 9 pounds. He's a decent sized coho, but we'll just let him go. Nice looking coho, which you can retain here right now, but we'll just let this guy go. Here we go. Just gonna pop him off and he's gone like a rocket. That was fun, a little action, a little double header. Been a little while since we had a bite, so maybe the flood tides is starting to push in. We've marked a ton of bait at this spot. Like, it's been absolutely crazy how much bait, like football fields of bait. So we'll get back in there and see if we can find a couple more fish to cooperate. Coho. We got another coho on. We got a coho. Yep. Well, pretty good coho bite happening right now. Nice to mix in a Chinook. Getting ready to pop this guy off again here. We'll release him. Get a little fight. Nice chrome bullet. Oh, there he goes. Oh, there. That's the long line release. Well, coho are known to do that when they come up top to the surface. Go a little crazy. You just got to try and keep your line as tight as possible. That's all you can do. Especially with barbless hooks. It's easy for them to spit them, as you can tell. That was a long, grinding day of fishing with not a whole lot of action. But that is part of the allure of fishing Rivers Inlet. It's an area that you really need to put the time and effort in, because at any moment, the next bite could be a fish of a lifetime. We headed back to Dawson's Landing, had a late dinner, and called it a night. The next morning, the weather turned on us, but it definitely wasn't going to deter us from getting out at first light and trying to get a fish. I wanted to put a few more hours in at the big fish spot to see if we could talk one on.
Guys have their different ways to do cut plugs. The way I like to do is I run the bottom hook through the top, pull it through. Second hook just up kind of along the spine there, and that bottom hook kind of under that dorsal fin there, through, and you come back over the fish, run it back down the side, just under the skin into the meat a little bit, so it grabs, kind of just push it in, finesse it in, and then get that top of the hook to sit into the meat, like so. But there's a bunch of different ways that you can do it. That's just one that I was kind of taught early on when I first started cut plugging here, like 20 years ago, and it's worked for me. So, but I'm always open to different ideas, and then you always want to check your roll a little bit. So that cut plug's moving nicely there. You know, each pull is, you know, about your arm length. This is about 3 feet, and you know, here we're fishing really shallow. A lot of guys here I've talked to even last night just trying to get as much intel as possible are like 3 pulls out the back, 5 pulls out the back. You know, we're fishing an area here where there's fresh water over top of salt water, so it's pretty murky in that top layer. And I guess the concept of the idea is you want to just kind of get your bait right on the edge of that fresh salt water, so there's better viz for those fish, and you almost have to hit these fish right in the nose, I think in order to have a chance. I mean, they're not seeing this from a far distance at all, so it's going to be kind of a reaction strike, and hopefully we get lucky and put this bait in front of a big fish's nose.
There's just some days when you get on the water, you just categorize them as hard days of fishing. But my mindset is I never really give up on the water or quit. And I think one of the reasons is, as much as I like winning, I even hate losing more. I internalize it as a competition with myself and the fish. I probably shouldn't do that at times, but that's just, you know, how I'm wired. That's just the way I've always been. Like, again, love to win, but absolutely hate to lose. And I think that's just internally what drives me, is that feeling of not being successful and proving that I can do it. And for me, it just becomes this personal, internal battle. That was another challenging day of fishing again. We'll lick our wounds tonight and regroup with a great dinner on the boat and make a new game plan for tomorrow.
Do a little chefing on the boat here. We got some cheddar elk smokies, and we're gonna have dinner on the boat tonight before we zip into our moorage for the night. Gives us one more pass anyways, because if the fish aren't eating, you might as well be. Oh yeah. That's legit.
Last night we chatted with a bunch of other anglers at Dawson's, and the consensus was the fishing right now at Rivers was slow everywhere. So we made the decision this morning to make the 1.5-hour run up to Hakai Pass. This area has been very generous to me in the past. I fished it many times out of Joe's Salmon Lodge and had great success. I'm familiar with it, I have a lot of confidence in it, and I have a feeling it's going to be good to me again.
That feels like a proper one. Oh, there's a head shake. I don't know. Yeah. I think it could be a nice Chinook here. What I'm thinking. Oh, yeah. Been waiting a little while for this cooperation. Feels good to hook up, but he's just smashed it, I'll tell you that. I can't even see it yet. It's not a Chinook. Look at a ling cod. Are you kidding me? That thing just smoked it. Like, how does that not look like a Chinook, dude? Just peeling line. I thought for sure that was it. Well, here was my imposter Chinook that smashed it, and was peeling line, and I thought absolutely we're in the game on a big smiley. And we got ourselves a nice tasty lingcod. It's a good fish and chips anyways.
I really enjoy the slogan, must be nice, and I kind of get a kick out of it, a bit of a laugh, because I think a lot of times when people see success or they see somebody who's done well, they really just get the final picture of what that person might have accomplished, but they don't get to see what's kind of transpired behind the scenes, what has enabled that person to get to that position. It's work, it's time and effort, it's perseverance. It's all these things that come together that show the fruits of the labor. Whether it's a photo of a nice fish or another successful achievement, people will look at that and say, at times, oh, it must be nice. Well, yeah, it is nice, but there's a heck of a lot of hard work and sacrifice that goes into it.
Spring, nice fish here. Great take, smashed. Just switched over to our downriggers here. On a piece of bait, it's taking a great run, holy cow. It's a nice, I haven't really got a chance to see him too great. Look at that bait ball there too on the screen. Beautiful, beautiful fish here. This is probably gonna be difficult to try and net him, but I'm gonna do our best to get him up. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's gonna be close to being a tai. Nice thick fish. Oh yeah, I think I get him this time, I think. I gotta get his head up. Oh, he's a nice fish. Oh, beautiful fish. That could be. Yeah, it's gonna be pretty tough. But he doesn't like the look of that net. I don't blame him. I just can't get any leverage. Nice fish in the net. A beauty here. We'll get a look at him here in a second. What a fight it was. Oh, he just smoked it. Oh. Got a real nice fish here. I'm thinking he's a tai for sure. He's a thick, thick fish. Beautiful. See the dark snout on him? Look at the colors on him. What a cranker. What a beautiful fish. Oh. Just looking at this beautiful fish here. He's got to be 35 pounds, and we're gonna release him. He's fresh. He's such a thick, big fish. Oh, what a treat. Thank you, fish. He's ready to go right now. What a tank. There he goes. Yeah! Woo! That was awesome. Now we put our time in for that fish. I didn't know how big he was at first. He took a huge run, and it felt real nice. I saw him initially kind of by the boat there, and I thought he was mid-20s, maybe a tai at first. I thought in the mid-20s, but I didn't realize how girthy he was, how thick that fish was. That fish was 35 pounds. Big dark snout, big male, and man, what an adrenaline rush to watch that fish swim away too. I'm shaking right now. It's funny, man, how fishing goes. We put in a lot of time, and a lot of times you start to question yourself, wondering if you're doing stuff wrong. Sometimes fish aren't there. Sometimes they are. He happened to be there. That was great. Oh man, so it's amazing how a couple days when things might be a little bit slower than you anticipated, and then to get a fish like that makes the whole trip amazing, man. That was fantastic.
That was one of the most rewarding trips of my life. It definitely put me through the ringer. We put on countless miles. We went 14 hours, the longest we've ever gone between bites. We camped on the boat, which was a first. We got beat down by horrendous weather, and the best part was, it was all worth it. Ending the trip with a 40-pound Chinook salmon, the third largest I've ever caught. You couldn't write a better ending. Rivers Inlet was an experience worthy of the challenge, and I can't wait to return.